All right, all right. I'm breaking script. I've gotten everyone around. We gotta talk. Mr. Pennypacker, what's going on? We had that whole thing going. We got big things that have happened to Sattergrad Productions. Oh, what is going on, Mr. Pennypacker? I mean, it's very rare if you ever have someone room, and well, I know Abbott, but this has got to be talked about. Oh, it's Kojak here, here for whatever it is, and well, typically, in history, I still have PTSD from the past Centergrad emergency meetings. It literally means we might be jumping platforms. No, no. Don't be spreading fear, bad freighter. No, it's not that. We not received like copyright notices or takedown notices or any of that. DRM, whatever. DRM. Well, you know what I mean. DMCI. DRM. Oh, okay. Uh, oh, what's going on? Oh, he's got the memo to show up, and well, Curly Joe will take a seat because this is going to be interesting. Unfortunately, this is not good. Well, you notice Friday night we had I don't need to tell Bad Freighter, he already knows, but we've had we had a breach, we had a corporate espionage occur. Um, Basically what has happened is the cast of the original Freighter versus Retro has signed a lifetime contract with a rival YouTube channel, and they have jumped ship to theirs. Like, oh no, what? Uh, uh, oh, Jamie! Oh no! Oh no! What are we to do? I say we use our thinking caps. Well, I wish I had that kind of optimism, but man, I'm telling you, I don't have that kind of. I don't know. I can't do that. Okay, so what it is the original Freighter versus Retro, which was good Freighter. Yes, I've split Freighter into two. I had to do it because he was becoming too powerful. Okay. Okay. So I did that. I was able to bring back the old Mr. Peck. Wait, the old Mr. Peck. I don't like that guy, but I know you have an affinity for him, and it's like, old friendships and things like that, histories and things. So I've been trying to help Freighter. We're gonna keep talking about it. I want to stay on the timeline here before we talk about what we did last night. And so what it is that we uh what has happened is the original cast, original Freighter. I know we got titles here. We can't just have Freighter versus Retro. We have to keep inserting things like new Freighter versus Retro. Well, even Farfinger Gaming that we do, this very show is a rename. It's a rename of a rename of a rename. Yeah, it's true. I told you when you brought me back, I told you to change the name back to New Freighter versus Retro. Freighter, then on Fridays we have original Freighter versus Retro. Then on Saturday we have the new Freighter versus Retro. Freighter, this is like we have a lot of autism and we have a lot of issues with OCD and uh, we have a lot of issues with ADHD and all that. And we got some stuff countering and counterbalancing and imbalances here. Okay, I know it's like just have one show. I wish we could do that. Freighter, I'll be honest with you. I think that's the narrative. I think the narrative of the show is we're just trying to go back to that one show. We just go back to, it was you and Kung Fu and it was you and, maybe some of the characters on the podcast and all, but it just it never turns out that way. I don't you not understand? Like when you brought me back, like this version of me, that's all I'm obsessed about. I know. And I keep kind of trying to tell you though, and it's like there's newer games out there that just blow away some of those old games. I mean, I, we've had this. We're gonna have a continuous debate on this. This is not over, Freighter. We're not done. But this show, we got to keep on focus. We got to keep on focus with the emergency broadcast here. Okay, so basically, last night we had to do one of these talks, but that's because we had to think of something quick. Okay, so what happened is, so the show before it, the week before that, the original Freighter versus Retro, I just noticed that there's a new kind of logo. There's a new kind of like logo before the intro, and it was this like Metrotrakica logo. Yeah, it's excuse me. What is a Metrotrakica? Is that a metal band or something? That's what Freighter said. I said it's not Metallica. Uh, Metrotrakica is kind of like a rip off of Machinima. It's I think it's probably a parody. Knowing us, it's in our universe. Okay, let's talk about it. You see, the original Freighter Retro consists of Good Freighter, um, the real Mr. Peck. It consists of Billy, and it consists of Pooh Guppy Adams. There's no Peter Graves. I couldn't bring him back. He's kind of lost to the code, and maybe maybe things will change someday. Well, I mean, we could kind of replace IG-88 with him if you ever brought him back. Well, I don't think you're a bad freighter. I don't think he'd like you. You're kind of mean. Well, yeah, but it's because I'm just better than everybody. As soon as people accept that, they can go the step forward. And then they just need to accept that the only good video games is the original NES games. It's the best NES games. Freighter, you love Bill and Ted. You like Bill and Ted. The consensus is that that's a bad NES game. What? Wait, what did you say? I said it's a bad NES game. Sir, that was a beloved game of my childhood. I didn't own it. I rented it. Well, of course, you expect that trash fire to be in stores. Freighter, you read a lot of stuff. Some people might consider to be crap now, but well, I mean, there was bad games. But oh, here we go. It's turning into an episode of the Immortal Hours right now. I shouldn't have brought Bad Freighter with me to do this meeting. You two are really getting into it. Well, this is the way it's gonna be, because I'm on. What has happened is, they signed a lifetime contract. They're over there at Metrotrakica on Fridays. They're doing their little shtick. I guess they're gonna do like a crossover cruise and. Okay. We usually aren't people that travel beyond our house, so okay, we can go that narrative. I mean, I'm planning to go to London maybe in the fall, but as a cruise, I don't know. I mean, that's interesting. But look, so basically, Metrotrakica, as I mentioned, is a dilemma because you go, oh, it's in the other world, the real world. It's not in this cyber matrix, right? No, it's in here with us. Wait, yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, yeah. Well, this isn't good. That means there is a parasitical uh, entity out there. It's all those things, it's like aliens or something. And yeah, so basically, I think they're trying to take over this channel. They're trying to at least start with one show at a time. They get their branding out there onto our channel. That's kind of like getting the foot in the door, and then before you know it, you can't close the door because they're going to push it open. So this is not good. This is really bad. So we've banned the show forever. Uh, yeah, yeah. So no more Pooh Guppy Adams. I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy. I know he's supposed to be bad freighter, but there's some things there. There's feelings there. These are old characters, very loved characters. It's kind of like if Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore and stuff, if they joined the New World Order. It would kind of hurt. And it's like, what? No, they're bad. What? Okay, so and by the way, Winnie the Pooh's now public domain, so we can openly talk about him and not get sued or something. Which I don't think anyone would care because no one watches the show. So sometimes they do. Well, sometimes you get like 13 viewers to come in. Sometimes it's funny. I mean, that's why I like to say to. I used to say back in the day, "We got company. Be good. We got company. You kids, be good." Okay, so basically they went over there. It's and also it's that 2011 zone or something you call it, or the module 2011 module. The 2011 module. Yeah, I made it because Freighter and his friends they were actually making this whole world unstable. So I just put them into a zone that would be more suitable for them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring back Mr. Peck at the time, so I had to don a mask. And which you'll see last night, I went back under it. Yeah, yeah, you did a terrible job. And for Bear Freighter, you just pushed me. Um, so yeah, so I had to do that. So we had no show last night, so we had to make a new show literally out of thin air. So we made the Immortal Hours. Oh wow, that's a name. That's quite a title. Oh yeah, it's quite a title. It's quite classy, actually. Oh, it is. I like the title. I like operas. I like classy shit. I like highbrow stuff. It's very high class stuff. You know, but so that's it. And then well, finally at last, we made the show. We made a new character with S Duck and an S Duck. What, you made a duck? No, it's based on a very hated YouTuber. We made a character based on that character. Although I think she's kind of creative. I don't know here. We kind of like her in a way. She's kind of a heel, and we kind of liked that. She, yeah, she's like terrorizing some gay guy. No, it was funny actually. Like everyone's like, "Oh no, she's no, terrorizing some gay guy." So yeah, so basically, um, okay, this is going really long. Yeah, you like to talk, man. Like you can fill in the monologue so easy, where we do the scripted shit. Sometimes we only like finish like 4 minutes, and it's about 4 minutes. 4 minutes of story. And sometimes we go too fast in our script. Our script is usually about 3 bullet points. So yeah, so this rival platform, it's very bad. It may prove to become, it may try to cross over into our main universe, and if it does, that'll be a galactic civil war. But I'm gonna be observing it. I But the thing that's disturbing is they're growing, like their sub numbers are really fast, like growing fast. I don't know where that's coming from, and it's a very locked down site, so if you think you guys are going to go over there and troll them, it's not happening. There's just no comment section, there's no view counts or stuff, and it's a very locked down website. It's controlled by a character I made that has gained too much power. Well, that's enough. Abbott and Kojak, you can go do the video game. We got a new show on Fridays, and that's the way it is, because I said so. But here we go. Oh, it's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Okay, Oh, we're testing out a lot of the rings and stuff. I get you understand. Of course, this is very past tense because we've already essentially recorded this. When this game came out. So, of course, I understand. We also bought this game when it was it was before the official release. It was one of those kinds of things where they give you a few days to play the game before it officially comes out. And that was a disaster because it wiped out everyone's saves. Oh, that caused some hatred. Oh, that caused some bad blood. And as you could kind of see, it's not that we were like, oh, let's see how John Cena from when the time he debuted would handle Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. No, actually, the reason we're doing this is because we are randomly picking people, and just kind of, we did I think we did this one year. We just did that. Oh, you can see, I decided to be a heel and stuff. That, oh, I'm getting kind of blip blip. So yeah, so we're kind of. You started to talk like Mr. Pennypacker in a way. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I need to get my tongue untied there. Yeah, yeah, oh, John Cena's getting mad. Oh, that can happen, but what we were doing is we're just like trying different arenas and stuff, and I'm not entirely sure. I think this is the arena you can go into the crowd, but again, we didn't even know you could do that. Um, we found that out. We're gonna go out by the apron here. I understand we didn't even. I don't. You know what I can understand is you need to understand. At the time we were recording this, this is before patches were coming out, and um, we we couldn't even you couldn't. I don't think you could throw the ladder and tables. You could throw everything else, but you couldn't throw that, and now you can, and it's like really, really cool. Well, that I would be, yes. So, you know, way I found out you can go into the crowd. It's specific. It has to be very specific. Like, I think you have to be in the what they call is the inside. Uh, I'm trying to say it right. It's like the indoor arena one, I think, and what it is, they'll have a crowd box, and you can go back there, and there's some weapons and stuff, and then you could also fight back behind the crowd and stuff. It's kind of cool. So it'd be really good for falls count anywhere matches. But the thing too you can do is you can bap. So you can but here's the thing is I've tested this and it doesn't work in all. It doesn't. Going in the crowd doesn't always work. Sometimes it only works on one-on-one matches. So you can have any kind of stipulation as long as it's one-on-one. It doesn't matter. It's Iron Man. It doesn't matter. I mean, maybe I should test it more thoroughly. To be too entirely sure, but I don't know on Hell in a Cell and stuff if it'll let you do that if you do it in this arena. But understand if you try to do it with tag team matches, it doesn't work. If you try to do it with anything more than one on one, it won't let you go in the crowd, which was really disappointing because we wanted because if you try to do an ECW thing, you can't do it because they just won't let you. Well, the problem with these games is aren't they kind of naturally known to be kind of like known to break, and they're terrible. They have a reputation. Ukes, Ukes was never a perfect company, and I'll let I know a lot of people go, oh, they went on to do AEW, and it's like you need to understand, even they've finally come out and finally said that AEW management over Tony Khan and all those people, oh, that was amazing. Had a nice splittered Singapore cane and just blew up on him. That was great. So I guess this is the hardcore match or Extreme Rules or something. Um, so what was I going to say? You were going to say about Tony Khan, AEW, and well, Ukes went to do AEW. Then you'll notice that they were basically making an Aki game, and it was like no one had. I mean, people have had sort of teased sort of mechanics of that. Even these games have. They got some mechanics of that. But but for the most part, no one's tried to bring back entirely the stuff of those games. But that game was supposed to be kind of the one to do it. But the problem is the company just wanted to throw some. They just wanted the game out there to promote their product. They didn't want they didn't care enough to go to that level. They were half-assed. Their booking is half-assed. Everything about that company is half-assed. I mean, they're just as trash as WCW was. So, so they were just as trash as WCW was, and that's kind of it. Nice chop there, another chop. So they basically they needed more time to work on the game, and guess what? That didn't happen, and it's not letting me jump off. Okay, it's funny because sometimes you think, oh, I got this idea in my head, and then the game's kind of like, what? What? Wait, what are you trying to do? Like what? It just doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work. It's yeah. I don't know what happened right there. That's interesting. That was sort of like I ran into the ladder, or kind of like the game got confused. You don't understand. We were playing this when it just came out. Okay, so this was in times it was crashing for the most basic things, and it was not easy, But unfortunately, what I can remember of this playthrough is this was done. Mr. Pennypacker mentioned this. He said that it was done. Um, it was done over like 5 hours, 5, 6, 7 hours, and so as a result, we got a lot of footage, and maybe not to the level of that, but it was a lot. It was a lot of time, and fortunately, it didn't crash during that time. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You won't see this so much in my current games because and I realize, the the trading the punches thing. That's a big WWE thing, and has been now for about over a decade now. Kind of started with like Cena and The Rock. I think that's when they first started to do it, or it actually might even go back to the 2000s. But um, where the crowd would boo, and then another person they go yay, and then they boo, and then the yay, and the boo, and the yay, and stuff. And um, I really just don't. It's kind of annoying. It's an annoying little mini game, and you can actually turn it off, and I just turned it off. Because I was losing all of them, and so that doesn't really help you. And we won the match. It's like I said, I, the past games we were never good at. It was getting frustrating, and we kind of felt like alienated from it because it was like, man, they would give you all the legends you ever wanted, but like, oh geez, but so that's the way it is, as Mr. Pennypacker said so. So the next match is the backstage brawl. Apparently, there's other arenas. I don't know. I mean, interesting thing is it does actually mention custom, so maybe you can make a custom backstage. That would be kind of cool. But I actually miss the days of when you can, in the early SmackDown games, you could actually, like, when they came to PlayStation 2, you can actually just go back there. You could actually go to the entrance way. There would be arrows indicating where you can leave the arena. And you could go backstage and the count would stop and it would turn into, like, it was great. like I said, uh we've now you'll notice this, like platform here in the middle. I wasn't aware of it, but there was a during the certain event of 2020 to 2021, uh that COVID, because I don't want that little, because Mr. Pennypacker will kill us if he wakes up and finds the video now has one of those Wikipedia article things fact checking us because we mentioned something, because the computer says, "Uh-oh, someone said that didn't happen, that it's a conspiracy." No, no, we're not. Stupid computer. It's because and then I don't know. Sometimes the computer's bad, but the people run the site are pretty social justice warrior progressive. So okay, so during that time, I think they were really sort of losing it as far as what pro wrestling was, because pro wrestling is very dependent on a crowd. And I think what it was is they were getting tired of spending money on those, like, TV screens they had for all the people to be in the crowd. And I think Vince was getting sick of that. So they did this thing called Raw Underground. Wasn't even aware of it because I wasn't watching wrestling. I think the last thing I had watched during that timeline was AEW when they were doing the Broken Matt Hardy story, which was kind of like, okay, it wasn't all that great actually. Big surprise, that AEW wouldn't have a really good story, because it's just kind of weak. But so there's kind of a way to fall into that big spotlight thing, but I'm not really sure how do you go about to do that. Jake's strikes are the best in this game, in my opinion, because they're fast jabs, and as a result, if someone does like a big over haymaker towards you, you're going to connect with them, and that'll kind of stun lock them. So in a way, Jake might be the best to have because of those quick little punches. Um, so yeah, so they did Raw Underground, and it was like you see there that was all the wrestlers, it would be like Fight Club, and all the wrestlers would be around that, like a lumberjack type thing, and then two guys would be in the middle there wrestling and stuff. It was really stupid. I didn't even know about it until I watched somebody's video about that time and stuff. And fortunately, that finally all ended. I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, they had a Thunderdome, they had their own arena. I mean, that's locked down as you can get. I mean, just test everyone and make sure they're not sick or something before coming in or something. I don't know. It was Vince McMahon at the time. Vince McMahon, the last years of Vince it's not been good. Like his senility was really showing. He was forgetting about who's wrestled who, and it was just becoming like match after match after match, and he just didn't have that control. But he's so obsessed about his product to have control over it. Oh, that's so we're going to take a little tour here and see what we're capable of doing here. This is all pretty cool here. well, uh, well, that's it for the show right now. We need to take a break, and you could keep watching the footage. There's plenty more footage to go, and we'll see you next show.